Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I'm Agam Vakil, and what a terrific start it has been to the trading week, given another 132 points up move for the Nifty, and both the benchmark indices doing very well in trade today. We've seen advances of as much as 8% for the likes of Bharti Airtel, followed by HPCL and BPCL from the OMC space, also taking the indices higher. In fact, 5.5% gains for both of these. Eicher Motors, Infratel, Powergrid, all advancing in trade and providing that impetus. Let's not forget something like a Reliance Industries, which is a heavyweight, is also up by as much as nearly 3%, and that of course has also aided and lifted the index upwards. In terms of losers, we don't have too many in the first place, and even for those which did end the day in the red, well, they lost out about 0.5% or less. In the broader market, we have about, well, 4 gainers for less than 1 loser on the NSE 500. Himmat Singh Kaseed, Infobeams, which also saw considerable addition in open interest, Jubilant Life Sciences, Orient, Cement, Indocount, all of them doing quite well in trade. We'll be talking about a bunch of these counters as we proceed. But on the losing end, again, not too much to speak for, save for something like a Reliance Communications, which is down around 8.5%. REC, Birla Corp, and Dewan Housing Finance, of course, continues to be under pressure. Lind India and Mass Financial Services also declining by 4.5%. But as you can see from the gains, the momentum is clearly with the gainers in today's day of trade. On that note, let me bring in our markets editor Neeraj Shah to bring in his thoughts. Neeraj, a lot of strength today. What are your thoughts and what are you making of the comments from the experts that we've spoken to?
Well, largely everybody's saying that this is a rally which is continuing. I don't think too many people have the it's difficult to also say for when it will exactly pause, but everybody's betting on these moves continuing. The volumes were okay, nothing too dramatically well, but the interesting bit is the kind of gains that are happening in some of the large cap names. I mean, you mentioned Bharti Airtel 8.5. We've seen how OMCs have had 3, 4, 5% gains for a number of days now. So a lot of large caps are playing catch up, like as if there's no tomorrow coming in, which is quite interesting. The interesting bit, of course, today was that it was accompanied by what was happening in China as well. So Asia was looking very, very strong. And save for the Boeing impact on the US futures, the other world markets are not doing all that bad. Europe was okay, marginally in the green, FTSE was up about 1%. So that space is also doing okay. But lack of losers, just the general buying sense right now, until Brexit tremors are felt by world markets, and that too selectively maybe. Maybe the party goes on. Okay, well, let's see. I'll be interested in seeing, Agam, as I'm sure you would be, on the FI numbers. And what do you make of the FNO data too?
FNO data too. Yes, of course, I will be watching out for that as well. And as soon as we have those numbers up, I will be putting them up. But Neeraj, thank you for that perspective there. But in that case, let's talk about a handful of those stocks that Neeraj was alluding to, among stocks that actually moved up in trade. And for that, I'm going to get Sharad Dubey to join us and give us that list of stocks. Sharad?
Yes, I think 2 stocks were buzzing in the mid-cap space. The first stock being Godfrey Phillips. The stock was up by almost 9%. This is hitting the stock hit almost a 52-week high. This is basically on the media news reported that the company had actually entered into an arrangement with Philip Morris a year before the FDI restrictions. So basically, if we zoom on the camera, the stock went up and ended the day almost at 9%. If you see, there was generally the news was that there was a commercial arrangement with Philip Morrison for compliance regulations. And 2 days ago, Agam, there was a news by Reuters that ED was trying to investigate the company on bypassing the FDI regulations. The second stock which is buzzing today was Laurus Labs, which is up by almost 4% today, its highest level since seen in almost 17 odd months. Basically, the stock had gained 2 approvals, Agam. So basically, if we can get the chart in, the stock was up by almost 4.6% today after the company had received 2 approvals from US FDA. The first one was for your malaria treatment, and the second one was the tentative ANDA approval for ADL. So both of these products will be commercialized in the company's Visakhapatnam's manufacturing facility. So these 2 stocks are buzzing in the mid-cap space today, Agam, and let's see what happens tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, Sharad, thank you for joining us and getting us those updates on those 2 stocks, which did very well in trade today, as it was the case for a lot of other stocks. And one other stock that I want to mention is InfoEdge. Well, it was trading at around 1,800 rupees per share today. It was up as much as 1%. When we actually have a brokerage note where HSBC has upgraded the stock from a sell to a buy and also increased the price target to well over 1,900 rupees per share. Now, the upside from current market levels is not as high. However, HSBC is very constructive on a lot of the areas that InfoEdge works with. So for the first one, of course, is to do with its recruitment space, Naukri.com, which is the company's cash cow, and it is also the company's largest segment from which it gets revenues. They're seeing strength there, as is the case for the strength being seen in your realty space, where the company operates a online classifieds business through 99 acres. And we spoke to the management today of InfoEdge, and again the management suggests that the rental space and the resale space is which is what is getting a lot of traction, which is also pushing the website and in terms of its revenues higher. Finally, a word on Zomato too. Again, very good prospects. We all already know that Zomato's losses have contracted quite substantially in FY18. Is that the case in FY19? That is something that time will tell, but we've also seen a substantial rise in its revenues as well, competing very well and very vociferously with other incumbent players such as Swiggy. And these are just some of those areas where we do have a lot of strength playing out in Infosys, which is why it is trading currently at heady levels. So we'll be watching out for that as well. And on that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg.